students, myself Rakhi Kumari, Assistant Professor in Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad, affiliated to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. Today, in this lecture, I am going to discuss before you ray theory of transmission under the subject of optical communication. So, first of all, we want to know why the ray theory of transmission is required in this particular subject. Transmission, as far as transmission is concerned, transmission word is used here because here we are going to transmit the signal from the source to destination, from one place to another, and ray theory is kept here because the medium which is used for the propagation of information are basically the light ray, So, it is very important before proceeding further towards this subject, we should know what is the light or ray theory of transmission, what light theory is applicable during the transmission of signal from source to destination. Under this topic of ray theory of transmission, today I am going to cover total internal reflection, which is also called as the TIR, Snell's law of refraction, of course diagram showing the TIR, critical angle, then the calculation of critical angle, acceptance angle and the acceptance cone, numerical aperture, then the relationship between numerical aperture and the acceptance angle. Actually, these are the fundamental terms which are used during the ray theory of transmission in the optical communication. So, we will discuss this one by one. Now, first comes the total internal reflection, which is also called as the TIR. T stand for total, I stand for internal and R stand for reflection. So, what this TIR means? So, basically this TIR came into existence when a ray of light travels from one medium to another. Here we are taking the two medium having the interfacing line basically. This line is used to differentiate between the two medium. N1 defines the refractive index of the first medium and N2 defines the refractive index of the second medium. So, TIR is applicable only when there exists two different medium. So, when a ray of light travels from denser medium to the rarer medium. So, here what we considering? First of all, we have considered that there exists two different medium. After that, we have considered that one should be denser. Denser means having high refractive index as compared to the other one. So, what is applicable here? N1 is greater than N2. Then only we can say that this one medium is a denser medium and the second one is the rarer medium. So, here what is written? Ray of light is travelling from the denser medium to the rarer medium. The first condition which is applicable for the TIR is we have to take two different medium having two different refractive index and one should be at the higher side than the other, and the light is incident upon the denser medium and then it moves towards the rarer medium, such that the angle of incident is greater than the critical angle. That is why here the terms comes critical angle. That is why we will discuss the critical angle in the further slides. So, what should be the angle of incidence here? This angle of incidence phi should always be greater than phi c, which is our critical angle. The ray get reflected into the same medium. If this condition gets satisfied, then instead of ray moving towards the another medium, it gets reflected towards the same medium, and this process is called as the TIR, total internal reflection. Means कि all the reflection are coming internally, all the reflection are going internally, it will not go externally. So, this is the basic principle of TIR. We will again explain it through the diagram in the further slides. So, before going towards further about through the process of transmission ray theory, first of all we will discuss the basic law of refraction, that is called as the Snell's law of refraction. Actually, Snell's law of refraction is the basic law of reflection. According to this law, angle of incident phi 1 and the angle of refraction phi 2 are related to each other through the refractive index of the dielectric. Here we are considering that phi 1 is the incident angle, phi 2 is the refracted angle, and again in the Snell's law it is required two medium having two different refractive index. So, at the medium at which the light ray is incident having a refractive index of n1, and to the medium the light will go after refraction have the refractive index n2. So, in that case it is related to each other as per the Snell's law as n1 sin phi 1 should be equal to n2 sin phi 2. It can also be written as this, that sin phi 1 upon sin phi 2 should be equal to n2 upon n1. So, this is our Snell's law of refraction, and this is the basic law of refraction. According to this, we can say how to relate the incident angle, refracted angle to the medium. Now comes the diagram showing the TIR. So, what we have discussed in the previous slide of TIR, we are again have a discussion over that, so that have a clear understanding of TIR through the diagram. So, what is here? Here we have taken a two medium, and this is the of course the interfacing line. It differentiate the two medium. It is going to differentiate upon the two medium. So, we have taken there n1 and n2. n1 has a higher refractive index as compared to n2. So, we can say n1 should have a higher refractive index and n1 should be greater than n2. So, what is basically the law of refraction say? When a light travels from the denser to the rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. So, here it is a n1 is the denser medium and n2 is the rarer medium. A light is traveling from the denser medium towards the rarer medium. So, in that case it bends away from the normal. If we go on increasing the incident angle, if we consider this as the incident angle, it will bend much more. If we again keeps on increasing the incident angle, it will again bend. So, this is the basic phenomenon which occur in all the cases of refraction when there exist the two different medium. Now, if we keeps on increasing the angle, at one condition this refracted lines aligns with the interfacing line. This refracted line, this line is our refracted line, refracted ray we can say, and this is the incident one. So, the condition comes where this refracted ray aligns exactly with the our interfacing line which is differentiating the two different medium. So, at this condition the incident angle is called as the critical angle, and this is denoted with a notation of C always, and this is a very important parameter during the calculation of any other parameters of the ray theory of transmission. So, this angle is now is our critical angle. Critical angle is the angle, incident angle at which the refracted ray gets aligns with the interfacing line which is differentiating to different medium. So, this is our critical angle, and why this critical angle is important we have already discussed in the previous slide, that when we keeps on increasing the incident angle beyond this critical angle, the refracted ray comes inside the same medium. The refracted ray comes inside the same medium. So, here theta 1 should always be greater than theta c, so that TIR can happen. Theta 1 should be greater than theta c, then only TIR can happen. So, if in any optical communication propagation is possible within the core through the TIR process only, that means through total internal reflection process only, and this is possible only when our incident angle increases beyond the critical angle. So, we can easily say that this critical angle plays a very important role during the propagation of signals inside the core of the optical fiber. Now, of course, if we are saying that the critical angle is a very important factor, so we have to discuss this critical angle much more in detail. So, again whatever I have told before, that critical angle is the angle of incident where the angle of refraction is 90 degree when the light travels from the optically dense medium to the optically rarer medium. We have already understood the meaning of optically denser and optically rarer. Optically denser means having refractive index greater than the other one, and optically rarer means having the refractive index lesser than the other one. So, formula which are used for calculating the critical angle is this one. Now, ray is travelling from the denser medium to the rarer medium, and it gets aligned with the interface, and the angle which we are, this one is the our critical angle. And now in the coming slides I am going to discuss before you how should we get this formula of critical angle. So, now again so this is our angle of critical angle. Now, first we from Snell's law. From Snell's law, N1 sin phi 1, if we take the refractive index of the first medium is N1 as this one as the N2. Of course, in the this one is the core refractive index and N2 is the cladding refractive index of the optical fiber. Consider. So, N1 sin phi 1, phi 1 is our incident angle. Here we have taken the incident angle as the theta c. So, we have denoted it with a theta c. Refractive index of the second medium, that is the refractive index of our cladding is N2 sin. Here we have to write the our refracted angle. And what is refracted angle here? The refracted angle is 90 degree here. So, we are putting here 90 degree. So, N1 sin theta c should be equal to N2. Sin 90 degree is equal to 1. This is equal to N2 then. So here comes the formula for the critical angle, which is equal to theta c is equal to sine inverse of n2 upon n1. That means sine inverse of ratio between the refractive index of the two medium, where the refractive index of the lower medium, the lower side rared medium is taken as at the denominator numerator, and the refractive index of the denser medium, that is of the core, are taken at the denominator. Now comes the acceptance angle and the acceptance cone. So first of all, moving up, there are various conditions which are used while the wave is propagating inside the optical fiber. That means we have to consider many parameters so that the light ray can travel within the core and does not move outside. So again, this is an important parameter which decide how much light is going to enter inside the core, how much light is going to propagate inside the core, because already we have gone through, when we gone through the TIR decides that कि अगर कोई भी एंगल TIR में क्या आ रहा है कि अगर कोई एंगल क्रिटिकल एंगल से ऊपर है, इंसिडेंट एंगल जिस केस में, तभी वो प्रोपोगेट करेगा. अगर किसी लाइट रे का एंगल क्रिटिकल एंगल से कम है तो इट विल नॉट प्रोपोगेट इनसाइड द कोर. सो फर्स्ट कंडीशन, पहला जो हम कट ऑफ लगा रहे हैं विद इन द ऑप्टिकल फाइबर कम्युनिकेशन कम्स इन द क्रिटिकल एंगल इटसेल्फ ड्यूरिंग द TIR, कि अगर जो हमें इंसिडेंट एंगल क्रिटिकल एंगल के ऊपर रहेगा देन ओनली प्रोपोगेट. जो भी लाइट के सिग्नल क्रिटिकल एंगल से नीचे होंगे उसके एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस, दैट विल नॉट प्रोपोगेट. तो पहले तो हमने कुछ पार्ट लाइट रेज के वहाँ पे कट आउट कर दिए. नाउ कम्स हियर acceptance angle. It will also cut some of the light rays from propagating inside the optical fiber. So what is the acceptance angle? Acceptance angle is the minimum angle to the axis at which the light ray enter the fiber in order to be propagated. So what is meant by? Because further before what we are talking about the propagation of light from the core to the cladding. But what happens exactly? Before entering the core, the light ray has to come through the air also. So here what we are considering? Here we are considering that parameter also. So what is the acceptance angle? कि जब कोई लाइट रे एयर के थ्रू ट्रैवल करके कोर के अंदर इंसिडेंट करती है, तो what should be the maximum angle of to the axis, and that is called the acceptance angle. कि जो इंसिडेंट हो and that will propagate, वो होता है हमारा acceptance angle. तो अगर हम इस acceptance angle को रोटेट कर दें so that we can have a full cone like structure, that is called the acceptance cone. Always this angle is our acceptance angle and the complete cone is called as the our acceptance cone. तो acceptance cone के साथ जो पैरामीटर लगा हुआ that is कि जब लाइट रे प्रोपोगेट कर रही है तो अगर वो एयर के थ्रू इंसिडेंट हो रही है तो किस एंगल से इंसिडेंट होगी, सो दैट इट कैन प्रोपोगेट इनसाइड द ऑप्टिकल फाइबर. दैट मीन्स कि अगर कोई लाइट रे इस पॉइंट से इंसिडेंट हो रही है तो इट विल not propagate inside the optical fiber. It has to lie within the optical acceptance cone or acceptance angle range. Then only it will propagate inside the optical fiber. If it is beyond that region or from all sides light rays are coming, but this will not propagate inside the optical fiber. Only the light ray which is coming through this cone region will only propagate within the optical fiber. So what two conditions we are getting now? कि first, angle of incidence when the light travels from the core to the cladding, angle of incidence should be greater than the critical angle. Now comes the acceptance angle, when the light propagates from the air towards the core, it should be within the acceptance cone region, then only it will propagate inside the optical fiber. If these two conditions are not satisfied, no rays will propagate inside the optical fiber. And now what we are getting through this? What we are getting? Larger the acceptance and the cone, more light ray will enter the optical fiber. So, we can easily say that these parameters decide how much light will enter into the optical fiber. If we keeps on increasing the acceptance angle and the acceptance cone, more light will enter. If we decrease the acceptance angle and the acceptance cone, less light will enter the optical fiber. Now, the numerical aperture. Actually, numerical aperture and the acceptance angle both are related to each other. When we talk about the acceptance angle, this is basically the angle, but numerical aperture is basically our measuring value, which is a measure of the light collecting capability of an optical fiber. We can define how much light can be collected within the optical fiber through this numerical aperture, and it is directly proportional to our acceptance angle. The same thing are applicable to here also. If the larger the value of numerical aperture, larger the light gathering capacity or light collecting capacity of a fiber, which is same statement is given for the acceptance angle also. Larger the value of acceptance angle or the acceptance cone, larger the light collecting capacity of a fiber. So, both are acceptance angle and the numerical aperture are related to each other. Now, the formula for calculating the NA, that is our numerical aperture is of course sin theta A is our acceptance angle, N naught is the refractive index of the air through which light are entering the fiber, and N1 refractive index of the core, del is the relative refractive index difference. So, these are the formulas which are based upon the numerical aperture, and always during the examination or in the any competitive examination, you are asked to have a solve some numerical which are directly dependent upon this formula, and their values are already given of the core refractive index or cladding refractive index. You have to calculate the NA. So, now in the coming slides I am going to derive before you this relation. This is a basic structure of the optical fiber. N2 is the refractive index of the cladding, N1 is the refractive index of the core. This is the angle through which light are entering the fiber. A, B and C. So, what notation we have kept here? Theta A, which is our acceptance angle, theta 1 and the phi at which it is entering the interface. So, we have to find out the relationship between numerical aperture, relative refractive index difference and the acceptance angle. The main purpose of drawing this structure is just that. Of course, again from the Snell's law, at this time I am applying the Snell's law at the air core interface. So, I am writing here also air core interface. So, N naught is the refractive index of the air, sin theta A is equal to N1 sin theta 1. So, I am writing this here. At the place of theta 1, what we can write, if we take the triangle ABC, this theta 1 should be equal to pi by 2 minus phi. So, N1 sin pi by 2 minus phi, this can be written as N1 cos phi this can also be written as this one. So, N1 sin theta A and is equal to N1 1 minus sin square phi the power half. I am just going to erase this. I am just moving forward towards this. N1 sin theta A at the place of when the limiting cases arises, this sin phi should be equal to the critical angle and this is equal to 1 minus, already critical angle is what? Phi c is equal to sin inverse N2 by N1. So, we can write here as N2 square by N1 square to the power half. So, this can be written as, if we take N1 inside, this is equal to N1 2 square, N1 square minus N2 square to the power half, and this is our numerical aperture. So, we can write numerical aperture as this one. And again we have to find out the related refractive index difference. We have calculated Na as so in the place of this one we can write 2 N1 square del to the power half, N1 taken outside 2 del half. So, we have calculated what we have to calculate, we have suggested in the previous slides. So, here what we have discussed about the normal ray theory of transmission. Thank you for listening me.